Hello. Hello and welcome back to the Bacchus Phoenix apple orchard that we found ourselves at. Bacchus Phoenix apple orchard. Bacchus Phoenix apple orchard. This is what we're doing here is making a family of evolving processes called With What Wisdom. This is their previous episodes. I guess you could search for With What Wisdom. They all have that in the title. There's previous episodes of this series, and so in theory, this family is completely accessible to you, and you could watch these videos or have a robot watch these videos for you or something and know where With What Wisdom came from. But
a ref equals
hey,
http
there's a robot.
/
I'll try to stop it. No,
delivery.com
hey, no, stop. Okay. So in theory, you could go back and look at this and find out where With What Wisdom came from if it was important. Or you could watch these and learn how to make another origin of a different evolving process family that might end up being more important. And it doesn't matter. And all the evolving process families can be friends. They like there's no particular size that an evolving process family has to get to, and they're not trying to take over the world or anything, so they don't have to get to be as big as the world. Some of them are quite small and cute, and that is fine. This one's small and cute, and then this is being uploaded to GitHub, so you can check it out yourself.
Samsung says
No,
to us,
no, do
"You're a
not.
pretty
Now's
big
not a
deal,
good. Now's
so
not a good.
don't miss
Now's
ours.
not a good time,
Last
Samsung.
chance,
No,
George.
no. Hey,
Save
no,
even
stop.
more with Traden. Last chance, George.
I probably should have
Save
turned that
even more
off
with
before I started recording a video. In general, I like having lots of robots around doing things, even if they're just saying ads from Samsung. But let's see what are what is happening here in this is With What Wisdom, and there's these things to be mutated, which means these there are these processes. There's this many, 25 of them. Nine of them are at the end, which means they're done. They just end up at the end. Let's go to the end and see what happened in history. There's these things in the inbox for the end are all the things that ever happened in history. Oh, this is the original one. I accidentally came to the original one, which accidentally got the progenitor moved inside of it. But it doesn't matter. Now it's just hanging out at the end, so there's no point to fixing it now that it's moved on. And there's some other things that got deleted and never got to the end. Oh well. But so there's only a few things that have ever happened here, and they all happened in some YouTube videos you watched. This is all there is that can happen now. I think that there's that this test process that's in test is not even what's this? This one was just a test. It isn't even a process. But let's send it to the end. I'm gonna send it to the end. Just that seems polite, right? It did a good job testing for us, and we're going to send it on to the end. So, this is not what evolving processes is. This is how my evolving processes that I've evolved over the years evolved. They evolved into going along in this shape of evolving process, which I like because we got to move this to the outbox, or it won't go. I like this shape with the things go in the things go around these piles, and that makes them easy to find. And the piles, they're always trying to do things for you, is how it worked. I've made various evolving processes. I've had many, thousands and thousands of evolving processes and various different evolving process families. And only the ones that captured my attention and were fun to use, I continued. And here we are with this is sort of a programming methodology that I invented, or that the involving processes invented with me. But because they're even if they're not, these aren't self-aware yet. This mild degree of self-awareness is very mild. Let's go in and we're gently mutating this. Let's see what this is. This is the prompt that it uses to be to be somewhat self-aware. So it didn't understand this at all, and was like the evolving process. So do you want me to talk about the evolving process of the family? So that's not clear. Let's be more clear. Let's explain. Evolving processes are anything where what are evolving processes? Anything where using them makes you have more than one that are different from each other, with intentional changes trying to make them better. In this process, this prompt happens and not much else. Do you have any ideas what would be cool to do in this process? Okay. I explained some more, which isn't going to make these self-aware, and isn't, I mean, there's so many paths to selfness and so many paths to awareness. Those are very broad, and it's easy to become a self and to become aware of doing it. Should we change the parameters? Let's see. Are these... Is a thousand enough? That should be enough. I feel like it's way too easy to heat this up, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try heating it up a little. I'm gonna try that. See what happens. You will have to, if you use this, you will have to replace this with what with a sensible name for an API variable like OpenAI key, and replace this with a sensible endpoint to use, or whatever. You can use any skill. They're fine. This is working most of the time. Any skill works like 90% of the time. It's great. And so we made a change to make, and this is the gently mutate process pile. So I'm not requiring us to make more of a change than that. But we're making our own rules here. We don't happen to listen to the Seattle Times or anyone. We're making our own reality. I guess it's the beginning of the workday, right when people start to ignore being at work. Is why everybody thought they would email now. Is that why? So there, I made a little bit of changes to this. This is the child plan, and it's gonna change. It's gonna do that. It's gonna make a child that does that, and also copy the genome into it. But not the other. The phenome here, it isn't in a phenome directory. Sometimes there's a phenome directory, but here the phenome part is just the rest of it. Oh, but the plan is the plan also does the code things. Oh yeah, it copies part of the plan. It's the genome, and part is phenome, and it's all just there in the phenome and named plan.json. That's messy. Should we change it? We can change everything. Anything can change, but it can get harder to change things. You know, if you do something for a while, it's hard to change just because that's how things are. But this is the dispatcher is very simple, and the ideas about how to reproduce are at this particular station here. This station has the ideas about how to reproduce, and it makes, let's see, the parent plan path. And the plan.json shouldn't be is both the phenome and genome, so it should be split apart, except that it's useful to have it together. So maybe this is fine. Maybe I'm rationalizing, or maybe this is fine. You you decide whether you think it should make another. If we should we change with what wisdom so that it uh, has the genome parts of the plan in the genome. What changes should we make to with what wisdom? It can be your that's another. Everyone's like, how can I participate in evolve-prox? I don't know. You can participate in this one, but just if you say something you want to happen, then I'll do it. Participate below, or take your a clone of it, because it's on GitHub. So now you take a clone of it and you make a video, and I will participate by telling you what to do with your one, or whatever. Now that one's ready to give birth to more. What did I ask for? Oh, I asked for a different prompt, and so it's they're going there to do a different prompt. A few of them. How many? Bunch. So that's. Are we still not done? So many. But I mean, I don't have to do anything. That's the point, is that this is so relaxing and doesn't. And I mean, obviously a corporation trying to profit from capital could be like, work harder at an evolving process. But no, don't do that. Do it relaxingly like this. Like, yay, there's emoji, look, oh, let's see, copy prompt.text from genome needs doing. Copy prompt.text from genome. There, those all got their prompts from their genomes copied into them, and then they need their other thing copied to there. And then, now they're ready to think about that, and we can see what they say. Want to see what they say? Yay! Now it's saying ideas. It's saying about ethical considerations. That is very aligned of it to say that there should be some ethical considerations. Now, so this is. We're at a funny time now where this is thinking all these thoughts about, I said that one thing and I'm going along slow, and this isn't even like I mean, I could have all of these run at once, of course, and you can have like literally thousands or millions of them run at once. That's the thing they're exploring a lot in the literature. They're studying inference time, like putting more compute in at inference time by doing lots of thinking about stuff. So this is thinking of all of these different thoughts of and they're only going to that archive, and then they don't come back out of the archive. So I'm thinking thought all of those thoughts. I didn't have to have it think all of those thoughts, and I didn't have to. I just felt like having all the thoughts stream by at that pace. Is that I'm setting the pace of this, and decided to have it be this is disk bound and goes. These are slow because they're it's doing everything on the disk, and so I don't need it to go faster. Now working from the script's own crib. That's cute. I'm making this cute and slow and safe, and it has to be both slow and fast. It has to change along with the very quickly changing trajectory of the world, but it also has to I mean, it has to, like, this is what this is bridging between human understanding and like an evolving process. Understanding is kind of broader than human understanding in a certain way. Like a human couldn't keep track of that many things, so it's more um feels more like space than like thinking, even though it's kind of thinky. And then large language models, this thinking just streams by so much thoughts. And we had the I'm gonna have to bring in the tool to go to help you go to what directory next, because that's. But this is the self-awareness archive. Is it just started to copy things into here, and so I mean, these are the thoughts from before, and we can look at them. Let's see. Evolving processes are essential for growth, learning, and optimization. That's true. I think that's true. I think they're essential for growth and optimization, and that's why everything we do is so ungrown and unoptimized. You really need evolving processes. I didn't want to have to invent them. I wanted you to invented them a long time ago. Offer the prompt content in different formats. I'm not sure I, it needs way more explanation of what's going on. It's completely ungrounded in the reality of what it is. Which is fine. As are we all. Aren't we all mostly? But it also is. It has joined us. It has joined us in the ignorance of this reality, and like all of us, it needs some clarifications as to what is going on. So that was doing gently mutate, and I think, and so I'm going to be a little less gentle now, and I want to, do I have time to right now? Maybe what I would like to do is to make it so that the stuff from the self-awareness archive comes back into it, right? So mutate process with, all right, this doesn't even have a copy to self-awareness archive. I'm missing the copy to self-awareness archive, which copy response.tell to self-awareness archive. And then I also want to get stuff back out of it, which will not exactly make it self-aware, certainly not in a human sense, but will make it loopy. We'll make it go back around and around. These, as things go out here, and so far all we have, this is very linear. Adding that makes it still very linear. It does what I told it, the way I told it, and then the LLM mixtral in this, the parameters here is what's saying it's mixtral, and this is just generic. But mixtral, in this case, it turns out, is who's answering the questions, figuring out a little bit of stuff, and then a little bit of stuff goes into a file. The end, maybe start over and do it again. So, but that's not enough to make it, that's not loopy. So I want it to loop back around into itself. So I'm gonna say like copy wait, all right. How about I want to say copy prompt beginning, copy prompt getting that text from genome. Oh, all right. So I want to have something prompt beginning that text from genome to prompt.text, and then I want to copy append random thing from the self-awareness archive. Yeah, append that to the prompt.text. And I got to be careful that if you watch the previous video, I just accepted a Copilot suggestion that was wrong and had to delete the things that were made as a result of it it's of not proofreading its suggestion. So I really should pay attention to what it's having me say, and that I totally take responsibility for. All right, so we're gonna write something called prompt beginning in the genome. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna what's this prompt? I'm gonna not have that prompt. Oh, fruits and vegetables. All right, I don't need that. I'm gonna have prompt beginning dot text. Okay, here are some previous thoughts from With What Wisdom's Self-Awareness Archive. That's the prompt beginning. And then, so it copies the prompt beginning to the prompt.text, and then appends a random thing from this archive. Right, this step doesn't actually exist. I have to like actually write. I have to actually make these stations exist. But I'm just asking for what I want. I'm just saying what I would like to happen. And I think it would be fun if we had lots of people mutating program processes and putting in mutations of stuff they wish could happen, and then the developers would be like, we can't do that. I can't figure out how to do your idea. And then maybe AI developers would be like, well, okay, I can. And then, so append a random thing from the archive, and then append prompt ending, yeah. And then copy in the parameters, and then get the response. And then, so this response will be loopy, a little bit loopy. It just, it will create lines of past. It connects random dots with the past and lines. So that's something. So there's prompt beginning and prompt ending. And now I've got to also make a prompt ending. Let's make a prompt ending. Ending dot text. What should we say? Please write some more thoughts about. I'm trying to approach it gradually. I'm not even trying to like do it. I'm trying to evolve proc my way into it. So I'm just going to say, please write some more thoughts about the evolving process family with what wisdom. Which will be fed back around again into similar prompts to these in the future. I don't know, and I want to see what Mixtral will think of that much like self-reference. There, okay, and hopefully, I mean, I could make this before there's this mutate. I could make a specific, if there's like, if the prompts get sticky, if the prompt beginning hasn't changed in a long time, then I could put something in here that's like, no, specifically change the prompt beginning. No, that would be loopy in a bad way. Copilot, bad idea. Copilot's cute, but that's a bad idea. So I think that's all I want to do this generation. I don't like to do too much at once. Just do a little thing, see what happens. So, and that's a 3 different piles I'm gonna have to make where that actually works. So that's enough. That's enough work I've set out for a future me to theoretically do there. And you don't have to make big changes every time you mutate. That was a pretty big change, but in the future you can just be messing around with that prompt. See what happens. Okay, here I'm checking it into Get. See, here I'm doing it. You can totally clone this and have your own unimplemented process that's about to give birth to a bunch of things with that unimplemented thing asked for, but didn't actually implement. Asked for loopiness in self-awareness. There. That is technically a commit message, and so now I have done it. Or all I have to do is remember one more magic spell, and I've done it. And there you go. There you go. I'm gonna keep going until there is like some looping, like some culture in the loops in that family, and maybe a little bit of self-awareness or like responsiveness to its condition. Maybe feed some stuff back into it, like have it make suggestions about how to change things, and have it respond to how much there is in each pile. Like the thing that comes up with the crystal counter, we can send that to some LLMs with or without crystal emojis, and see how the LLMs can respond and put more thoughts into it. There's flowy thoughts that flow through the processes or flow from one process to another, and also reservoirs of thought, of data sets it builds up with as it thinks about things. It's fun anyway. It's fun living in the future and playing with robots. Come back for more fun playing with robots. Bacchus Phoenix Apple Orchard, Bacchus Phoenix Apple Orchard, Bacchus Phoenix Apple Orchard.